Hello, people, people of the interwebs of the Midnight Fish Crew. What's going on? Ian here of Atkins Nature Aquariums. What the heck, man? Liquid Zoo only fans in here first. And then he says, "Boo! I am a snail." Yeah, boo, man. Nobody watched that. It's terrible. Just terrible. I swear. Wink. No, I'm kidding. Actually, I'm a snail out now. You know, I was being sarcastic, but it's actually really good. Really, really good. I liked it. Cat liked it. You know, everybody liked it. Ritesh Das. What's going on? The 40 breeder is up, guys. The 36 by 18 inches front to back. And what is it, 14 inch? Something tall, whatever. It's a 40-gallon tank. But that is going to be the flower horn tank. So, yeah, getting a Fireman's Dream juvenile from Misfit Reptiles and Aquatics. He's been breeding them. I didn't know he was breeding them. I thought he was buying them that small. But I found out he's been breeding them. So I'm just like, ooh, locally, not locally bred, the hobbyist bred, you know, that's what I like. I like hobbyist bred fish. So, gonna do it. Get one. And I've already seen some pictures of the ones that he has. And he's got this one that's got a black spot on its forehead. And I'm just like, that guy's cool. He's unique. I like unique. So, yeah, I think that's going to be the one with the black spot. I like that guy. But do you want to groom it? Yeah, I mean, as grooming as I can. I was thinking of Brooklyn Bell. What's going on? Up this late? What is good? But yeah, I'll get him a little mirror that he can flare up at, and I'll feed him a good pellet. I I've been doing my research, and it feels like there's a boat of variety and non-variety flower horn keepers, where they just feed one type of pellet their whole life, and they live a very long life. And there's other people that feed a wide variety of things, and they also don't have issues and live a long life. Some people I have heard um, having issues with a variety is feeding too much, but that's with any food. Um, but also feeding like live foods is not. Don't feed your flower horn live foods. It makes no fucking sense. Okay, this fish is not from nature. It's not anywhere. I mean, yeah, it's get pissed off and mean, and it's gonna act predatory, but it doesn't mean it's a piscivore and wants to eat fish all the time. They're a man-made fish, and so I think, for me personally, as a brand new flower horn, going to be flower horn keeper, it's probably just going to be one pellet, maybe two types of different pellets that he's going to eat, and that's going to be it. Just finished with water changes. I thought it was like midnight, but apparently it's 2:11 a.m. Apparently, it happens, man. I just get going with it. When I got this tank done, it was like 4 o'clock in the morning. What the heck? Do you ever sleep? No. I go to sleep at 4 a.m. and then I wake up at 11 p.m. Or no, 11 a.m. I get like 5-ish hours of sleep. It's good for me. Can help with grooming. Cool. Because these are supposed to be competition grade flower horn. His parents are competition grade. So I mean, I don't think I'm going to enter him in any competitions, maybe online ones where I can take a picture and do that. I know there's a lot of different competitions that do that for flower horns, but I think it would just be cool to kind of to see that side of the hobby of like grooming and creating a massive cock. Yeah, couldn't hold its weight. Well, I don't want a massive cock that big, but like to where it can't hold its weight. But I want a nice, um, like a good scale to body ratio to cock. And if y'all didn't know, the flower horn nuchal hump, the little brain, the big brain, it's a cock. Yeah. Or coke. Stephen P. Shee. You feed your flower horn Hikari cichlid gold and frozen bloodworms. Yeah. See, I don't think that's an issue. Um, Especially if you're getting clean frozen bloodworms, I think that is good. You know, but yeah, that and since the guy I'm getting is small, he's probably going to get like frozen food to begin with as he grows. And I also got a canister filter coming when he gets bigger, and I still got to get a light. Right now, there's no light on it, and it's running off a sponge filter. I don't know if you can see it. No. But there's a sponge filter right in this corner, and then an air stone. And then this air stone right here. I don't know if you guys saw my short, but this thing's funny. I've been letting it sit for about a day now, maybe 2 days. Yeah, about a day. But I let it sit for like an hour, 30 minutes. Um, and it still floats when I put air on it. This little air, this big ass air puck floats when you put air on it. Let's see if it still does it. Let's see. Experimentation. Nice and warm. Nice. Around 80 degrees, I can tell. Perfect. Let's see. Does it float? And it still floats. So I just want to know, you had one job, create an air stone. And who the fuck creates an air stone? Okay, look at this. You see this? It floats. What kind of bullshit is this? I want my money back. And then you gotta like let the air out. No, 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 no. Come on. I know I'm missing chat, but that just pisses me off. I spend this money to get a nice big air stone, and it wasn't very much, but this little air stone is perfectly fine. It'll create enough bubbles, but I wanted more bubbles, okay? And yes, it's a bare bottom tank, and I'm putting one singular cichlid in it, in this beautiful 40 breeder that could make a beautiful aquascape and planted tank. But, the cichlid keeper in me is just like, nah, fam. You're getting a cichlid. All right, let me go back up. Sounds like the last night. Oh, yeah, did you pack your bowls, everyone? I don't have a bowl. Well, I pack a bowl every day, but I don't have a glass bowl to pack for fish. You have a few champions that I had made in my days. That's cool. I want the fish with the biggest cock. Of course you do, Scuba Steve. Top most. mess with audio, Steven. Bring your mic tomorrow. Bloodworms, 1 time a week for a treat. Cool. But getting a flower horn with full colored is not common. Yeah. He's actually at my cousin's house because I have no room and they love him. They said he does backflips and shit when they walk past the tank and got to get over sometime this week to do water change. Yeah. You know? That's cool. That's definitely a no on the planting. Ah, but you've got it scaped, Brooklyn. You know, that's a step in the right direction. George, what's going on? Not a fan of the flower ones. You know, that's okay. Not everybody is. You know, they're when I first looked at them, I was like, man, that's a weird looking fish. It's a bit of an abomination, a bit of you know, a stigma of competitions of who has the biggest cock. You know, it's a little goofy, but um, seeing other people's flower horns when they're bigger and they're attached to their owners, it's just like shit. That's really cool. I mean, most cichlids will do that anyway, but like the fact that they are hybrids, which I find some hybrids to be pretty cool, but I'm just excited. It's gonna be a cool little flower horn. A fireman's dream. Prefer the species that make the flower horn itself, but hybridization is part of the ornamental world and the real world to some degree. Yeah, I mean, everything's hybridized. I mean, there are some wild caught, and don't get me wrong, I love my wild caught fish, and I love keeping them, being able to keep them pure. You know, um, but I don't think there should be a direct line in the sand that no, I'm dead against hybrids or I'm not gonna keep any because they're a hybrid, they're not pure. You know, they're still a fish. There's still a fish that can bring you joy and bring you um, something that maybe your wild caught fish might not be able to, and you won't have to worry about them not being wild caught and trying to figure out the best water parameters for them if they're a hard water or soft water fish. Um, so yeah, I I just think they're cool. You know, I've always kind of liked them, but I'm excited to keep them. You know, after I get them in the tank and I keep him for like a few years and see how he grows and see his personality grow. Um, it's just the most thing I'm excited about is the personality in those cichlids. It's goofy, man. You can train them. You can like build bonds with them, and I've done that before with my Oscar, and that was really fun. And that was probably one of my favorite moments in fish keeping was the Oscar cichlid. Brought me a lot of joy. Per However, in the wild, only rejections can happen as well. Yeah, it's too many hybrids. I think they've got multiple hybrids stacked on hybrids, like the blood parrot, and they've probably got some cyclosoma hybrid. Like maybe Salvini is in there. The Salvini and the red Texas. What's the other one? What's the other one? Uh, I'm forgetting, man. I'm forgetting. I always forget. I see 5 gene cichlid Comfa flower horn. Yeah. goldfish and bettas. Yeah. Yeah. There are no like wild goldfish. Well, there's invasive ones. However, to each their own. I like swordtails. Yeah, and swordtails are another one of those hybrids. You know, a lot of people don't talk about that. A lot of these bright orange and red, super colorful swordtails are not wild. They're not pure. They're crossed with platies, which are still of the Ziphophorus genus, but they're not the same species. Okay? But yeah. But yet, your aquarium clubs, my aquarium club, will still take bright orange swordtails that are hybrids as a hat or a bat, breeding awards program point. But they won't take my polar blues, which are a hybrid cichlid. So, what the fuck is? Why is there a line in the sand with cichlids against live bearers when it shouldn't? It, if there's no hybrids allowed to be bapped, then it should be all hybrids, right? But I've bapped orange swordtails. Now I'm not trying to like complain or anything. I'm just saying that's what I've noticed. Shanna, what's going on? You don't know shit about flower horns. What the hell is a cock? Because it sounds naughty. The cock is the big fleshy part on the head of the flower horn. Most people call it a nuchal hump. But if you're childish, like all of us, call it a cock. Because that's just what everyone else calls it. A cock. K-O-K. I think most people pronounce it uh, Coke, but yeah. ALA is more lenient than the ACA. Yeah, yeah, but still, yeah, the killifish people, man, they are fucking like strict about not mixing even collection points with killifish. Now, I hate to fucking be that guy, but you guys know keeping fish simple. That guy in Australia, that young kid. Okay, so he put out a video recently where he got these killifish in, right? Okay, so he got three species. He got the gold australes, I believe, Gardner eye, and something else. And he hatched them, and guess what he did after hatching? He took the Gardner eyes and the gold australes as fry and put them both in the same tank. And the other batch didn't hatch, so he decided to take them out and let them dry up for about another month. And then he's going to try hatching them again. But here's the thing with killifish. The males you can tell apart super easy, but the female is a little brown fish. You know, they're indistinguishable. They're just silver and brown. So he's not going to be able to tell them apart, and he's going to be hybridizing those killifish, and then he's going to try to sell them as pure, maybe. But I saw some comments in the video, and hopefully, you know, he actually gets to read those. You know, some people don't read their comments, but they call him out on it, and so I decided not to comment because somebody else commented it. But I know I right away as soon as he put both species in a 20-gallon, I'm just like, dude, really? When they're fry, little baby fry, you can't even tell them apart. You have soft water 4.0. Well, damn, it's acid almost. You have a full tank of Gardner eye killifish. Yeah, see? And you know how devastating it would be if you had a mystery female gold Australia in there and you couldn't tell, you know? Like, it triggers me. It triggers the, because I love wild fish, and I am a person that loves to keep them pure. If you're going to keep a wild fish that's threatened or going extinct or is on the cares list, but um, we need to keep them pure because we're not going to be able to get them in the wild much longer. So it's the best thing to keep them pure and not hybridize all our fish. But some hybrids are okay. You know, fish that are bred very easily, fish that are very um, common. You know, I've noticed they hybridize them, um, which is okay. You know, we hybridize dogs. We've been doing it for thousands of years. You know, green water 4.0. That is pure magic. Ah, is that for your those microtenopoma? We lost me a killifish. Ah, Sage P, what is going on? Going on? Os? What the hell? Coke is the way it's supposed to be said. Yeah. There are known to be another fish that is subjected by mixed population genes as angelfish. Oh yeah, angelfish. You know that's how they get those pretty colors is by mixing them and seeing what genes they can pull out of them. And yeah, you know, it's all part of trying to selectively breed for color, finnage, and sometimes size, like short body. You know, sometimes we gotta hybridize different collection points or different species of the same genus to do that. So I get why it's done, and I get why people keep fish pure. You know, there's two sides of the waffle here. Chalupa, what's going on, dude? Have you tried the toasted cheddar chalupas? Man, fucking fire! Had one the other day, and thank you, man. It's an empty tank, bare bottom. I don't do bare bottom very often, but I'm gonna try to keep it that way, and hopefully it does good. You know, hopefully your angels are really starting to get colored up. That's awesome, man. My little baby angels are still little baby fry, but they're awesome. I love my black angels. Histogramma trifasciatus. Cool. Read Rainbow Bousmani in a separate tank. Read them. Yeah. My Bousmani are the only sexable rainbows I have right now. I've got the Williams Creek Melanitania down here, but they're still little silver minnows. Is what they look like. They don't look like much. They got some red on the fins. They look really good top down. I put the tank down here. 20-gallon that was right here. I put it right down here. You see? You see? Yeah, see, he's right down there. Still got it. Your bigger Pinoy Kariba had that white spot about 6 weeks ago. Has gotten worse. Oh shit. Um, I'm trying to remember the picture. I think you posted a picture in the Discord. But that's not good. Is it like a white fuzzy spot, or does it kind of look like a smooth-ish kind of like cloudy white? Because if it's that kind of cloudy-ish, kind of spotty look, that could be velvet. So you might want to treat for velvet, but um, it's really hard to tell without a microscope. Like without being able to take like a sample of the infection or something like that and look at it under a microscope, it's really hard to tell what could be going on. Those pictures on Discord again, or if you have a better way for me to send you pictures like Facebook or something. Yeah, I should be on Facebook. Um, just Ian Atkins. You can find me on there. I don't use it too much. Hey, all these people in here, you better go watch I Am a Snail and leave a like, damn it. It's a damn good video. It is bigger and kind of sunken in. Like a crater. Okay, that kind of makes me think of maybe a lateral line disease. Let me see, is it in? Let's see if I can find it. I'm scrolling through the Discord. Is it in the fish and plants on aquatic fishy jerks? Scrolling. Scrolling at the top. Damn it. At the top. You thought it was hole in the head? You know, from what it could be, uh, it it very could be hole in the head or lateral line disease, which is very similar. Cool. Cool. Yeah, if you want to send those to me, I got your friend request, Facebook, so you can send those over to me and I'll look at them. But yeah, if it is hole in the head, the only way I treated it when I had my Oscar was I caught it at the very beginning stage, and I treated with salt, daily water changes, and I changed up the diet too, feeding better pellets and more frozen foods, making sure they're getting more vitamins and minerals into them. Is usually hole in the head in Oscars caught is usually a dietary problem or a water quality issue. But if those are top notch, then um, yeah, I'm not sure if there is a medicine that you could use. I don't really use a whole lot of medicines. I use Icex, General Cure, and Metroplex. Uh, but yeah, aquarium salt, water changes are pretty much my go-to. Daily water changes. I found clean water is really, really the best solution I've had. Fresh, clean water. But I've only had hole in the head once, and it was just the very beginning stage. I can send you. I will send you over to Dr. Fish. Okay. This guy does surgery. Hold on, I think I'm missing it. Where is it? Okay, Fish Doctor, right here. And okay, I got the pictures. Because there's different types of protein and fish eating at that is not supposed to. Yeah, okay. So it's a little bit different. You know, it doesn't clearly scream out at me the lateral line disease or hole in the head, because usually hole in the head or lateral line disease, it creates these holes in the sensory pits along the fish, along their lateral line, and along the sensory pits on their head. This looks more like maybe an infection, like it's a fungal infection, but underneath it is going to be a bacterial infection most of the times. So you might want to do a two-part approach: treat for fungal infection and then treat for bacterial infection. There are 3 other angels in the tank with it. Yeah, I can see it. So what I would do is try to isolate that fish, put him in a quarantine tank, and treat for fungal, and then treat for antibacterial. And hopefully that should help. But you don't want to treat any bacterial medications in your main tank, because most bacterial medications can wipe out your beneficial bacteria colony. And here's the thing: I'm not a vet, I'm not claiming to be. I'm not trying to say I know everything, and I'm not going to say that this is even going to work. But there are different types of bacteria. There's gram-positive bacteria and gram-negative bacteria. I don't really know the difference between the two, so that's probably going to be some research that you would want to look into and see what kind of bacterial infection you might have. I asked Father Fish too, and he said it looked like a bacterial infection and to use topical ointment, but I don't know what kind of topical ointment. So I've seen some people use methylene blue. I've seen a lot of goldfish keepers use methylene blue on cuts and abrasions before they get infected. And they'll just take like a Q-tip, dab it straight in the methylene blue, and then dab it on the cut and wound, kind of like how we put on hydrogen peroxide when we clean a wound. And it's kind of going to have the same effect. It's going to sting the fish a little bit. He might be a little bit agitated at first, But definitely, I want you to research how to do these things and try to talk with other people that have actually done it. Um, Luke Scoldies is the person I've seen use the methylene blue treatment for his goldfish, and he keeps a lot of very beautiful goldfish, ornamental goldfish. Only Oscars just got back. What's going on? Was scared to move the others to expose others. I have another QT tank to set up tomorrow, so I'll move that fish by himself and treat him and watch the other three for a while. Yeah, so the other three, if they've got no injuries, their slime coat will protect them from those bacteria and those funguses. But it's until they get an injury is how they can be susceptible to those types of infections. So it's really good to keep on top of water quality in the main tank, just so that the other fish, if they do manage to get an injury, because it does happen, especially in our planted tanks with sticks and rocks and stuff like that, they're gonna rub up against something. So you can try to do that. You can also, if it's a free floating bacteria or fungal that you're worried about, you could try using a UV filter. But definitely, I would quarantine the fish that is sick, and he shouldn't process or not process, but contaminate the other fish. If the other fish are being really good and show no signs of infections, that means they're good. Their slime coat is helping to protect them, and they're not that stressed out. But the other fish, he's probably he got stressed out, got an injury, and his slime coat couldn't do the best for him. But that's okay because fish are really hardy, and it doesn't look like it's a super bad infection right now. So I think it's savable. And once you get into like a proper quarantine, yeah, like 6 weeks, we all kind of quarantine-ish per se. I don't know. I don't want to speak for everyone, but I don't do a quarantine every time. But right now, I'm getting more into, if I'm not getting it from a reliable breeder or somebody local that I know has immaculate tanks and way more advanced in fish keeping than I am, I don't worry about their fish. I just know, yeah, they're breeding these awesome fish, keeping these awesome tanks. They're good, and I've never had any issues. But fish from the fish store, especially wild caught fish from the fish store, I'm gonna quarantine them because I don't want it to bring anything else in. So should I move the three to the new QT tank or move them all to the new QT tanks? Actually, I have another tank I could set up. Y'all think they are contaminated? No, I don't think they're contaminated, because really all our tanks are going to have these bad bacteria and bad funguses, but they also have good funguses and good bacteria that in a healthy environment overload the negative. So I think leaving the three that aren't stressed out and are perfectly healthy in the tank is fine, but take the one guy that has an infection out and put him in a quarantine tank. Yes, dear. You going to bed? All right, let me give you a kiss. Hold on. I'll be back, guys. And say hi to Kat. Or good night. June says hi. She says hi, everyone. These fish have never been in my main tank. They've been in QT since I got them in January. I feel bad because they're getting bigger. It's doing water changes about every few days, but you'll do daily water changes now. Yeah, and they'll grow faster. Um, so I personally would take the one guy out and leave the other 3 in their quarantine tank right now. Just for a couple more days, maybe another week. Let just see how they're doing after you pulled that other fish out. And if you think they're good because they've been in quarantine since January and those 3 are showing no other signs, you think they're perfectly healthy, add them to the main tank. They should be perfectly fine. But the other guy, since he's still got an infection, I would definitely keep him. Is Cat a cat or a human? Cat is a human. Spelled K-A-T. Treat the tank, and with every water change, add beneficial bacteria. Yeah. That is a good call, Chewy. Definitely add beneficial bacteria if you're able to. Fritz Zyme 7 and the Fritz Turbo Start. Turbo Start's more concentrated, but it will work.
Someone asked if I was a human or a cat.
Yeah. That was Ritesh.
Hello.
There she is. She may or may not identify as a humane.
I am a potato. Thank you very much.
My sexy potato.
I'm a russet potato.
Also, this sucks because I didn't even order these angels. You ordered 10, got 34. Hold them. 34. They're just like, oh, she wants 10? Oh, she must want them all. We'll just send them all to her because we got too many angels because they just breed like crazy because that's what they do. We'll just give them to her. She ain't got to worry about it. No, it doesn't matter if they're not fully healthy and they give them fish that are injured and then eventually get infections. Like, now I'm attached to all of them that don't have the room. Once we finish home renovations, I will. That is, as sad as that is, I mean, that I don't think they would have gone to a better place than your tanks, Brooklyn. But that is just crazy to think about. Plus, it's like, okay, you're selling 10 fish and then you're giving away 24. Okay? You're losing money at this point as a company. That makes no sense. No sense at all. Oh, it's okay, Ritesh. There are actually certain Synodontis that carry a bacteria that they themselves are immune to, but meanwhile, other fish can suffer from that exposure. Huh. Didn't know that. George, what's going on, Guppy man? George is the local Oregon guppy guy. He's got a lot of guppy experience. Cool guppies, too. But yeah, I would definitely try treating it with a strong antibacterial. But so maybe George might know. George is a very knowledgeable fish keeper. So George, there's this angelfish that my friend Brookley has here, and it's got a bit of a bacterial infection on the side of them. The other 3 angels are perfectly fine. So, what would be a good antibacterial that she could use? That you could recommend if you can, George. If you cannot, that is okay. But I know you're very knowledgeable. Order 10 and get 34. Wouldn't that be fun when they start to pair up? Oh my god, right? Proper quarantine systems and protocols are followed. Yes. Ordered 10 dime-sized seller. 10 dime-sized angels. And the seller I was bitching about on Discord. Ah, yes. I saw that. That is just crazy, you know? You know, it'd be nice if you get, like, you order 10, maybe you get 11. You know? Yeah, that's a cool bonus. But 34? What the fuck are you going to do with 34 as just a regular hobbyist? You know? You don't have 34 or however many pairs that would be. It'd be a lot of pairs. You could breed the hell out of some angelfish now. Take out treat with API products, but take out the sick fish and put quarantine tank. You know, on the feeder. The one that has a wound is a smoky Pinoy Hariba and was silver dollar sized in January. Now it's quite a bit bigger. Yeah, I noticed in the picture. I guess do you mind if I show the picture, Britt? I'll ask you that. But yeah, that's the latest one. But you can see just behind the operculum, that white spot, that's definitely some type of infection. But I definitely think it's curable. Beautiful angel. Look, you can see the pearl scales on it. The fins. I love the fins. That's going to be a looker when it's an adult. I tell you what. I can't screen share because I don't have Facebook on my computer yet. So I forgot my password. And yeah. Those black angels really got the short end of the stick. Yeah. But they couldn't have went to a better home, you know. Yeah, it's not hole in the head. You know, I thought it could have been, or lateral line disease, but no, it doesn't match up. I've had it before too. The white specks are mole. The camera is showing them as white, but yeah, we all know mole. But yeah, it's mainly that white patch just behind the operculum or gill plate. Oh, yes. Hold on, I'm gonna give you an email to someone, and no, everyone just go blow them up. But you know, if you have a problem with something and you just can't figure it out and you need professional help, not me, not your fish store, okay? Email this guy and hopefully he gets back to you. I haven't talked to him in a while, but this guy is a registered veterinarian and he has his own practice building, and yeah, he is Steven the biologist. If any of you don't know Steven the biologist, good guy, good smart guy. He's helped me a lot. Now he can only do so much with an email, but he will definitely, you know, tell you exactly what medications you need, how to properly quarantine, and all that shit. You know, he's a smart guy right there, Steven. So many Stevens, man. We got Steven P. We got Scuba Stevo, and we got Steven the biologist. of Hastacycline 500 in the tank. Yeah, I don't really know what that is. Separate that. Angel and treat with salt for a start. Yeah, definitely treating with salt um, will help, especially if you've got no plants in the tank. You can go up to a tablespoon per gallon of salt, and I think people have even gone higher. Um, you could even do a saltwater dip on your fish, and it's stressful on them, but uh, it's good for them. Okay, but you make like a small batch of salt water of like 1.026 specific gravity, and let them sit in that for a few minutes. You want to keep on them like a hawk. Don't take your eyes off of them. As soon as you start to see them like slide over on his side and he's breathing hard, take him out, put him in fresh water immediately. Um, but no longer than 10-15 minutes in a salt dip. But I've never actually done a salt dip on a fish, so I'm not going to tell you to do it. I'm going to tell you to research it, and if you think that is a smart thing to do, that will help you. Um, you're a naturalist, better than a biologist. Okay. Yeah, you definitely want to treat it. Um, yeah. Hospital tank doesn't have any plants. Moving him to that tomorrow. I'll start salt. All my fish are in my kitchen. I literally spend all my time with them unless I am sleeping. Awesome. That's good. And yeah, when you get attached to fish like that, it sucks when they just get sick. You want to help them, and it seems like you can't. But it also feels really good when you are able to help them and get them better. So I really do have faith in you, and I think you'll get the right treatment they need. Asking people um, like me, even though I'm not like the best fish keeper, I'm not the most knowledgeable. I know a little bit, but um, getting you pointed in the right direction to the people that do know more. Yeah, 5 minute will do too. 5 minutes works. It also depends on the fish. Now, if you have like scaleless fish, probably don't want to do a salt dip. Um, but yeah. I am so excited for a flower horn. Juvenile angels in my 40 were fascinated with Steven last night. That is awesome. Angels are awesome fish, man. It sucks that they're kind of dickheads, I've got one in my 20-gallon, 29-gallon upstairs, and then I've got a pair in a tank raising up fry. They're in a 10-gallon for now. Oh, so I was thinking, you see this? This is another stand. This is the 55 stand that was sitting right here. This is the 40 breeder. And I was thinking behind me, we'll have the 55. And then I'll put my angels and my rainbows. We'll have a nice big planted tank. You say salt dip is in specific gravity 1036. Just wondering what the specific gravity of a saltwater tank is. So my saltwater tank sits at 1.026. 1.025. That's what I shoot for in saltwater. That's what a lot of other reefers shoot for. You know, the funny thing about saltwater reefing, I was researching this, just, as I like to research saltwater. But I kind of thought about it. All reefers shoot for the same water parameters. They all shoot for 1.025 to 1.026. They all shoot for a DKH of like 8 to 9. They all shoot for a pH of 8.3 to 7.8. And they all shoot for a magnesium of 1400, a calcium of like 900, something like that. And it's all the same. So that makes it really easy to take corals from one system to another system. But in freshwater, when we have multiple different species from multiple different areas around the world, we have to match these different water parameters. So people say freshwater is easier. But when you really think about it, freshwater is more difficult because we have to take care of the water parameters that our different fish need and make sure that we're caring for them in the right way. In saltwater, it's all the same. Everybody's tank shoots for around the same water parameters. It's crazy. Before charging any antibiotics to fishes, don't feed them for a day. Charge the tank with metroglycol tablet to clean their stomach. Next day, do water change and then charge the antibiotics. Okay. That'll look cool for live stream. Yeah. And I painted this blue because I was thinking I could do some cool blue screen stuff, maybe with the flower horn. Wouldn't that be cool? You like flying around a space or a forest or a racetrack? I could put them on a racetrack. But I also think the fireman's dream has a lot of reds and yellows, and I think that'll contrast very well against the blue. Guess what? Nothing in my freshwater tank will fucking sting me. Yeah, you got that going for you. Except for your Corydoras catfish, you little fucker. Don't you forget about them. They'll sting you. And they sting, man. Trust me. I've been stung. Especially when you go working at a fish store and you gotta put your hands in tanks all the damn time and there's like 30, 40 Corydoras in a tank. Your Corys will sting you. They'll get you one of these days, Steven. One of these days, you'll be moving them and they'll just get ow, ow, right in the kisser. All of the stuff that we know but can't do anymore due to laws in Canada without access to meds. Yeah, Canada is fucked. If you need medications, you gotta take your fish to the vet and get it prescribed medications. I think that's how it works over there. I think Melafix by API. Okay. Yep. Remove any carbon and UV. Once the saltwater tank is cycled, you're basically done. Yeah. And you've been plecos too, man. They got them little jabby things that come out. They don't fuck around, man. Cichlids too. Cichlids, they got a spiny spine on their dorsal fin. So it's kind of like when you go fishing for bluegill. If you grab a bluegill the wrong way, it's gonna spine you. So you gotta hold a cichlid the same way. Okay? Or you lip them. Some cichlids got teeth. You might not want to lip them. Dying. I need some water. I think Steven needs a flower horn tank. He just needs one non-planted tank. I want to see it. It'll be your little sin, your little freshwater sin tank. Actually, it did one good thing for the industry. All things have to be treated at the wholesale level, as that involved regulations of pathogens do not make it to the stores. Well, they probably do not make it. Yeah, there's probably a couple that still do, but Oscars bite but don't draw blood. No, they don't draw blood. Yet. Oh, here is random PSA. Don't use aquarium co-op nets to catch autocinkless or plecos. They get stuck. Oh, yeah. I try not to use those coarse nets with the plecos or the catfish. I try to use a fine net, or not even a net in general. If I can get them out with if I can get them in the corner with my container, the specimen container, scoop them out real quick. I'd much rather do that because, yeah, I've had that issue of fish getting stuck in the net. And it's like, I guess I can't make a net for all fish to not get stuck, but some fish just get stuck in nets. It's terrible. One non-planted tank, sir. You ask too much. Too much. It cracked too. It was a small Oscar. Yeah. You could do it, Steven. You could. Bet you could. You could do a hardscape only. It doesn't even have to be like a super elaborate. Got munchies. Whereas I have seen rare micropathogens where whole tanks have been destroyed. Yeah. I'm lucky I haven't seen anything like that, where it's just like wiped out my whole fish room, knock on wood. But I've had some ick outbreaks, and pretty much it. I've had a couple of fish with internal parasites. But yeah, it's really hard for me to tell because I don't have a microscope. It's tough sometimes, man. I can't believe I've been going here for an hour already. It's going by quick. Quick. Do a badass hardscape tank worthy of being plantless. Get house cichlids, just saying. Yeah, man. You could do like a big tank of haps or Mabuna if you like the African cichlids.
What was that?
Something just dropped and hit me. I don't know what it was. It must be going crazy. No plants, no care. Ah. It's gotta have plants. I guess that's the only I can't speak. Fuck. Wow. It's 1 a.m. now. Don't know how much longer we'll go. We'll go a little bit longer. Yeah. Would it look like a pile of rocks behind the checkout counter? Maybe not, Steven. Yeah, there are some cichlid tanks you can plant. It's just tough with cichlids. They love to dig and rip up stuff, but some are just chill. Like the crebensis. Everybody needs a crebensis. Okay, just go get yourself a crebensis. If you don't want to breed them, don't get a pair. Just get a male or a female. I think the females look better, but uh, if you really want to see that cool breeding behavior of the color behavior, or the breeding colors and the behaviors when they're breeding, and then when they take care of their babies and patrol them around the tank. Yeah. Yeah, I know, Chewy. I know. That is why this is bare bottom and nothing else in it. It's the most boring 40-gallon breeder that I can do. But I love it. I think it's going to be awesome. All about the fish. It's just going to showcase the fish. And he's going to be, hopefully, become like a channel mascot. Hopefully. He'll be here when we're streaming. There won't be a bunch of bubbles from me filling it up. And hopefully he has good demeanor. You want shell dwellers? How dare you offend me? I am not the best skater in the world, but I am far above our LFS level of skate. God damn. Got a big mixed tank of crystal shrimp and they're breeding. Cool. We saw a tank full of baby Oscars the other day at our LFS and my heart melted. I know, Brooklyn. Isn't it tough to walk past some baby Oscars? Like, man, I saw the most cutest Oscar at the West Spot. Okay, it was labeled a wild caught big eye Oscar. Okay, and he was all black with little orange spots, and he was like $50. I could easily probably keep an Oscar in this tank for a while. I'd struggle with water quality, but he'd have no problems swimming around. But I ain't gonna do it. I told myself if I ever get an Oscar, it's gonna be a 120-gallon tank. Just so that he has that 2 feet front to back. And yeah. And the water quality will be able to be easier. Yep. You need an Oscar tank. Yeah, you do. Everybody needs one. That was the first cichlid I ever got was an Oscar. It was Finn, my long fin Oscar. I have a picture of him. If any of you haven't seen my freaking Oscar, he was, it might be biased, but he was the sexiest Oscar on the internet. Okay? I'm just saying. There he is. He was a bronze longfin. Let me see if I can get a better picture of his fins. Of his finnage. Should. I should. But yeah, he was the guy that started it all for cichlids in me. I just couldn't help myself. No. Here's a different picture. See his fins. He was beautiful. I missed that fish so much. Let's see here. Okay. This was like a couple months after I got him when he was still a little guy. But he grew up fast, man. He got chunky. I know I got a video of him. I know I do. Alright, let's see if this will show. Now look at his fins, man. Freaking love this fish. Just a badass guy. And I know his water looks a little brown. So when I had him, I thought it was cool to keep him. And I got the little tannin tea bags, the little tea bags of tannin, and I would let them soak in the tank and kind of like bring the pH down and give them good antibacterial, antifungal, the natural way. Just because I thought it was a good thing to do for my Oscar. And man, I treated that guy like my baby. I would play with him every day. I gave him attention. And I fed him all his favorite foods. You know, it's an Oscar. They'll literally eat anything you throw in front of them. But like shrimp, he loved shrimp. And krill was all like I busted out the krill and I put it in front of the glass, he'd go fucking nuts. It's just making me reminisce on my old Oscar, man. I fucking miss him. Yeah, thank you. But he was in my 55 gallon, you know? And like, I was doing daily water changes to try and keep, his tank good. And after like 9 months of keeping that fish, and like 4 of those months I was doing daily water changes just for that goofy little Oscar, I just couldn't do it. I was getting to work too much and I couldn't keep up with water quality, so I gave him to some random guy with a 200-gallon tank, and I never seen him again. So I'm not getting an Oscar again till I know I can keep it for the rest of his life. I really like the cichlid Atkins midger. Keep them. Ooh. Yeah, there's a lot of different cichlids. I'll have to check it out. You kind of already have one. You just need a bigger fish room without those pesky appliances and pieces of furniture. Has to be a sinking pellet. Oh man, that's weird. Yeah, and Oscars are so funny because they all have their different personality. Like my guy was goofy. When I would do water changes, he'd get all sad. He'd go sulk in the corner with his head down or laying on his side, like I'm doing something wrong. But he's just a goofy little fish. You gave him a good home. Yeah, I hope I did. The friend of mine that friend, I guess. I don't know. Not a friend. Thought was a friend. took them and gave them to one of his friends and said I could go visit him whenever I wanted to if I just gave him some advance, or at least get some acknowledgement that that fish is still alive. But no, nothing, ghosting. You know, you gonna say his name? You don't really know I have YouTube, so if he is watching, I want to know how my fucking fin, the Oscar, is doing. So I guess we already done. Yeah, that's funny. Only Oscars can win a command performance for playing dead, and the Oscar goes to Oscar. But that's why I'm so excited to keep the flower horn. You know, I think it's going to be similar, a little bit different since it's a hybrid, but it's been a very long time since I've kept a big cichlid in a tank by itself, and I've just missed that experience because there's really nothing like it building a bond with a big cichlid like that. They're just they're so goofy, so personable, but they just need big tank and they want clean water. Like all fish, they want clean water and they want a good sized tank. But I think a 55 is just too small for an Oscar. Flower horns can be real jerks. Yeah, that's why he's getting his tank all to himself. No friends. His only friend's gonna be me. He's gonna build a bond with me, and I'm gonna train him every day with my hand. Not at first. When he first gets here, I'm just gonna let him do his thing, let him settle. Probably gonna keep the light off. I'll put some fake plants in there so he has somewhere to hide. And as he starts to kind of warm up to me, that's when I'm gonna start training him with my hands and getting him used to my hand, so he's not biting it all the time. Or if he does bite it, just tighten up your skin real quick so they can't really grab it that much. But if your skin's loose, they can grab it bad. See? But if you tighten up your fist like that, when they go to bite, they don't really have much to really pinch and grab. So, also getting flower horns for Misfit, that is cool. I'm excited for mine. I wouldn't, June. I personally would not put them with your Oscars. When they get bigger, they will kill them because they don't play. The hybrid cichlids that they have been made from, the genetics that they've been crossed back to, are some of the most aggressive Central American cichlids that will demolish Oscars just as their own. So this hybrid vigor and this hybridization of them is going to make them even more aggressive. That I wouldn't, I wouldn't keep a red devil and Oscars together. Personally, like, I love Oscars so much that I don't want to keep them with any other cichlid. Like, that's just me though. If you want to keep them with other fish, you probably can. But I know that Oscars aren't. They're big and aggressive. But you put them with something too aggressive, they're just going to get their ass beat because they're not as big as bad as they might look. Oscars are kind of big babies, and we need to watch what kind of fish we're putting with them because they can get their ass beat. Mississippi hippie, hey, what's going on? Did I miss you? There it is. Been lurking, good vibes. What's going on, Sherry? Big fish involved is the Midas, which can also be kept with Oscars as long as no one is breeding. Well, I've never seen it work long term. Never. Never seen it work long term. Maybe for the first year, maybe two, but we're looking at fish that can live 10, 15 years. I've never seen it work long term. Except for like massive display tanks that are like 1,000 gallons, where they all have their own territory. That'll work because they all have their own territory. But when you're, I think even the big tanks that June has, 360s and the 200s, like, I think you should just be left with the Oscars. And if you're gonna do the flower horns, I would just keep them in their own tank, because also, your flower horns could also get beat up by the Oscars because they're small. The ones that Brendan has right now are really small, but when that flower horn gets bigger, they don't play around. They do not play around. That's why a lot of these big cichlid keepers, they keep them separate in their own tank or a pair, because it doesn't usually work out long term. Now, I haven't been keeping fish for 10, 15 years, so I can't really justify that, but yeah. They're just, yeah. If you get one pair of Oscars, they're gonna take over, especially if you get like an Oscar and a flower horn and pair off. I mean, that'd be pretty fucking crazy. I don't know if it would work, but I'd imagine they'd be a pretty damageable pair, And it's just a risk when we're keeping these big cichlid community tanks, especially when they're small. They're working right now, but 3-4 years from now, we'll see. Like I'm rolling the dice with keeping 5 festivums in my 55. I have a high chance of getting a pair out of them, and if they pair off, all hell's breaking loose in there. Okay, I don't have the most aggressive fish in there. I've got tiger barbs, I've got a gourami, a sebrum, a couple other smaller cichlids. Like, the most aggressive fish that's in there are these little hybrid fucking convicts, polar parrots, super cute little fish. But man, they're little assholes, aren't they? Little asshole fish, little assholes. That's why you research tank size. Yes, that's why. I'm still a very new fish keeper, and I need to get bigger tanks. Working with what I got, and I might have been impulsive a lot of times throughout my hobby, but I'm trying to do the best I can. And right now, I know the 55 is like really pushing the limit for those fish, especially the sebrum. The sebrum's definitely gonna have to move in a few years, but the rest of the fish shouldn't get much bigger. Like the festivums only might get up to 5-6 inches. They're not a very big cichlid. The blue acara might get 5-6 inches. The zebra acara only gets to 3-4 inches. And then there's the bichers. Okay, there's 2 bichers in there. Those are cats. Fish. Beautiful fish. Love them. But yeah, she loves those little death noodles, armor noodles, dinosaur noodles. Last tank was an impulsive buy. Thought about it for 8 weeks. Yeah, I've been thinking about this tank for a while. At first, I kind of wanted to do a saltwater reef tank, and spend a lot of money on trying to make a badass saltwater tank. And I was thinking of what fish I'd put in it. And really thinking about it, the fish I want will not live in a 40-gallon long term. yellow tanks, any tanks. Any of the surgeon fish will not live in a 40-gallon long. And I'm really big into the surgeon fish tanks. So I'm gonna wait till I get like a 125 or something at least 6 feet long, 6 to 8 feet long, to do a nice big saltwater tank that I can keep nice big beautiful tangs in. I think it'll be right. Do it right the first time, so I don't have to worry about it and sell my fish for something I know they're worth, but they're not gonna get what they're worth. Flower horns don't get that big. I think the biggest flower horn I've seen is like 16 inches. And that's an old fish. But flower horns don't get that big. The average size of a flower horn is 10 to 12 inches. Very, very rarely do I see a 14, 16-inch flower horn. Now, it doesn't say we shouldn't give them the best of everything we can, but we got to do with the means that we got. How wide is a 75? 18 inches, front to back. The standard 75 here is 4 feet long, 18 inches front to back. Our 55s are 4 foot and 12 inches front to back. See, I wouldn't put a flower horn in a 55 because it's just not, wide enough front to back. Yes, 18 inches. The Aqueon, standard Aqueon 75 gallon is 18 inches front to back. A 16-inch fish turn around at 18 inches. Yeah, I've seen worse. And I get what you mean. We should provide the best that we can. Try to park the car like that. Shit, Chewy. If this fish ever does get 16 inches, then yeah, I'll upgrade him. But I don't think he's going to get that big. And, we'll see. We'll see. Remember, he's just a little guy right now. He's going to be all by himself with a canister filter. Big one. And I'm able to do water changes, so we'll see how it goes. If it doesn't work out, then I'll either have to upgrade. Just what I'll do, I ain't getting rid of them. I'll just have to upgrade. Get a 120. Replace one of the 55s with the 120. Because I got that 55 there. I could move that either right here or somewhere else. And it takes a very long time for them to get that big. So I got time to get bigger tanks. Shit. But, he's got 18 inches front to back play in here. Big cichlid people got me. That's why I like small cichlids. Yeah. I could do a lot of small fish in here. But, I'm not going to. I want to do a big fish. I've got a lot of small fish, and it's like, would swim 3 laps distance in that tank. Yeah, I get it. And I could keep a 100 neon tetras in here. They'd live a very happy life. But I want a cock boy. Big old cock man. Not trying to talk you out of it. Yeah. And man, I've seen a lot of these flower horn keepers that keep a ton of flower horns. They don't keep them in very big tanks. Now I've seen a few that do. But I think the majority of them I've seen, they're just all in a bunch of tanks and they're all divided off and they only got this much room to swim around. They're keeping them in there every day to groom them and get them for competition. And they probably sell them too. So, it might not be a long-term thing that they're doing, but, And it's the only way you can really do it. You can't mix a whole bunch of big flower horns together. You just beat the shit out of each other, so... And I probably could keep an Oscar in here, but I've seen some big fucking Oscars. Like damn near 17, 18 inches. Like they don't play, man. Those fish get big. And I get it. This tank right here is the bare minimum. Like this is the bare minimum. I get that. I shouldn't be going for the bare minimum. But this is what I got right now. And if I can get bigger, I will always get a bigger tank. If I ever get a deal, I'm always on the lookout. But I always lose them because I'm at work, and I'll see this tank that's like, ooh, 125. You only want $100 for it with the stand, and you just need somebody to come pick it up. But then I'm pulling an 8-hour shift, and then I'll go look at it the day later. Oh, it's gone. Man, I had a chance to get a 300-gallon once, but I have no clue where to put an 8-foot tank. Where would I put an 8-foot tank? I could probably move my washing machine over a couple extra feet, move the 55, and boom, I could put an 8-foot tank right there. If I was to get a big cichlid, it'd be zebra tilapia. They need a huge tank too. Yeah. Who knows? I was thinking maybe get one of those overflow kits that hangs on the side. It has like a siphon. And doing like a sump system down here. Do like a refugium with immersed plants for my flower horn, which would be a difficult system to do. Wouldn't have to drill it. I can just get it over the tank, like a canister filter return, and just another little tank pump in that little overflow box that sits on the side of the tank. Then I could have more gallons, and I could keep a bunch of plants in there that could help take out nutrients. That'd be pretty cool, I think. Wouldn't be a bad idea. could grow pothos in it. I could grow moss. Moss grows pretty fast. Pearlweed, bro. Pearlweed grows so fast. It's crazy. Oh, you know what I should do? I should get some crushed coral in this tank. Yeah, I should do that. Do it in the morning. Get some crushed coral in there. Get the pH up. Because I know they're a Central American cichlid hybrid, but from what I've been reading since they're tank-bred fish, is they like a more alkaline water, like 7.8 to 8.0 is what I've seen to be reading for pH on them. 11 for 11. Shit, Chewy, I am spacing it. I think I forgot what I said. I love you, Chewy, because you tell me how it is. You make me think. But I honestly think this, even though it's the bare minimum, and we shouldn't live by the bare minimum. We should try to get the best we can, the biggest we can, not the smallest, But it's what I got. And I think it'll be fine as long as I can keep up with water quality. But I think it'd be cool to do a little something. I think that's what I was talking about. Yeah. Yeah. Adding 11 for 11. So is that a good thing? Chewy? Chewy? We got 15 minutes till it is 2 a.m. here. It is probably like 4 a.m. for some of you, 5 a.m. Sun's coming up for some of you guys, so I might end it here real soon. Just so I can chill out. I gotta go feed the fishes and just relax for a little bit and then go to bed. But I'm glad everyone came in here. Got 11 people in here. And Ritesh says it's 2:15 p.m. Yeah. He's on the other side of the planet. That's cool, though. He's getting his day going. Hope you have a good day over there, Ritesh. But, yeah. Oh, I don't know if y'all saw, but man, I just found this out today because I'm slow at keeping up with like social media and shit. I don't really look that often. But Beck's Fish Room, okay? She is just awesome. And she has picked to do a picture of one of my angels. And I just feel super honored about that. Because, like, I sent her an album of the good photos that I've taken throughout the years. And I always add to it. And I let people in it just so if they want to see or if they want to use any of them. I really don't care if people want to use my photos, just as long as credit is where credit is due. I honestly don't care. But she chose one of my angels, man. My blue zebra. And she started on it, saw pictures of it today. I'm just like, wow. I could never do anything like that. And the day she gets prints made, I'm ordering it. I'm getting the Shodenai print. I'm getting the Mystery Snail print. I'm definitely getting the Angelfish print. Definitely. I need all three of them. Okay? That is a necessity. She's taking my money because she's not just going to do all this art for free. Okay? Art takes a lot of time because I used to do a little bit of sketching and it took time, And to do that amount of detail is just, I have mad props. And I'm super excited. Just remember who owns that Puffer original. Oh yeah, Steven, I know. Yeah. I'm paying for it. I don't care what she says. I'm giving her money because that is just too nice of her to do. That is too sweet, you know? I know a lot of other people sent photos too, but when I was scrolling through Instagram today and that made my day. Just to see pictures of my fish, people making art. It's like, I don't know, it makes me feel some type of way, but I love it and I'm super duper excited. And Bex is a really talented artist. Oh, and Sakura, I don't know how she says it, but the beta, that's a good one too. It's a really good one. So yeah, keep on the lookout if you want art. I'm really into art. I've got art from Pam. I've got art from Priscilla, Swiss Tropicals or Swiss Aquatics. I've got art from Rack. Um, I need some Bunny Viper art. Where the heck you at, Bunny Viper? I need some art because I know you do some killer stuff. You buy one of each print? Yeah. Oh, that would be cool, Steven. That would be cool, man. Man, Scott's Aquatics. I'm so sorry, bro. I still haven't sent you your mushroom. I still have it. It's still up there. It's up there. Okay. I got it. I got a box. I just need to get a print shipping label or whatever and send it out. I've just been lazy, busy. But if you're watching this, I hope you can forgive me, sir. Forgive me of my sins. But I'm getting you your mushroom package. Mushroom cave, okay? It's not like actual mushrooms. It's a cave. If you forgot. But yeah, I thought leaving this side of the tank clear would be cool because then you guys could see into the tank. And then I'm leaving this tank, this side. But the rest of it's blue. The bottom's blue. It's not perfect. There are some spots that I could probably go over with another coat. But man, painting on glass with acrylic paint sucks. Next time I'm just gonna use spray paint. I don't know why I keep trying to use this brush technique. It just don't work. Don't work. Oh, I painted it. Yep. Hand painted it with a sponge because I noticed the brushing wasn't working. Every time I'd do a new coat, it would take the old coat off. And I'm just like, fuck. So I just started taking a coarse sponge and I would just dip it. Dab it. Just dab it. And then I dry it, let it cure, do another dab session. And it got it looking like this. It's not bad. It could be better. But, it's good enough. Good enough for me. Once we get algae growing in there, you won't even notice. Vinyl is easier. Yeah, it probably is. I don't have any vinyl. Probably order it, buy some. And it'd be easy to just peel and rip off, I don't think I've ever done vinyl backgrounds. But yeah. And then just it was a good day today. It was just a good day. we got to see I Am a Snail debut today, and that was just fucking killer. You know, like I had to watch that a couple times just to like really see the effects and the backup sound. I'm terrible at talking on camera, but I Am a Snail came out, and I don't know. I haven't asked for any permission to play it, so I won't play it tonight. But I'll try to get permission from Mystery Snow Guardian, see if we can play it on the channel, and then maybe I'll just do that as the intro or outro for our streams, because I think it's fucking cool. You know, there a lot of planning went into that, a lot of community outreach went into that, and just community support. And I think that's the biggest thing about it, is that this badass of a community can come together and create content that was created today. I don't think I've ever really seen a collaboration like that, where they created a masterpiece of a music video. Like, that's just crazy, you know? The vocals, the rap, the beat, the Myrtle's music, like that all came from the Fish Fam. But yeah, I'll try to get permission and see if I can play that for you guys. But I think I'm gonna end it here, guys. 5 minutes, 2 o'clock. I know y'all probably gonna be mad, but you know, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. So yeah. Love you guys. Thanks for keeping me entertained on the stream, and I'm glad if I entertained you guys tonight. But you all really make this hobby fun and this platform enjoyable and keep me coming back. So really, I want to thank all my moderators, all my viewers, and everybody, just the whole community. Wouldn't be here without you. And peace out. Take care of your fish. I'm out. All right. Are we continuing with the longest outros? I think we're just going to continue with it. All right. Bye.